The only real God is the one that you believe in. Start looking for the God in others. And if you find you're tuning into a wave, well then I don't know much about being saved.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, friends.
Welcome in to another episode of Spiritual Philosophy Chatter with the Joneses. I'm Danny Jones.
And I am Samantha Jones.
And it is episode 55.
55.
And kind of a cool one. What is it?
This is Readings by Samantha. Which
Yeah.
I'm Samantha.
Yay.
Yay.
Maybe
Yay
I
me.
should have said that.
That's all right.
No, this is cool. This is kind of what you do. I get to not do much on this one, but I do get to... I really enjoy that part, watching you or hearing the people and like what you share and then hearing the feedback later. So
Yeah. Well, what I'm kind of hoping is when we do these readings on other episodes, I notice that we start to talk about whatever issue it is that we're dealing with within that reading. Mm-hmm. So I figure too that we'll be probably doing that as well, that with these readings we'll have our interactions. And yeah, I'm expecting it will be emotional for me. It's hard for me to do readings, verbal readings, and there's like 10 that I have here. And if we can get to more, we'll do more. But I've pulled 10 out that I think are each unique and, will bring their own story.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Sweet. Well, before we hop into that, did you have anything you want to share from last week?
I do. I have an iTunes review.
Ooh.
Yeah, I get an email once a week that shows us like if we're on the charts in certain countries. And it's cool because sometimes we're on the charts in like Sweden and different countries around the world.
Top of the charts in iTunes, baby. No, I'm just kidding.
But then they also send if there's new iTunes reviews or Facebook reviews or whatever. So this came in this week.
All right.
And I love the title of it. Because it says, like a comfy sweatshirt. And I love comfy sweatshirts.
Yeah,
I'm the
do.
queen of comfy sweatshirts. So, okay, here it goes. I've listened to at least half of the episodes now. This is my first foray into podcasts. And yes, my friends make fun of me for that. I didn't realize that podcasts were like nerdy or something. I don't know. I'm nerd, so whatever.
A couple years ago, somebody said, you do this. You'll be doing this. I probably would have thought, well... That's nerdy. Like, why would I do that?
Oh, that's what I said. When Mom said do a podcast, I was like, why?
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, okay, where was I? So, okay. Samantha and Danny are just genuine people enthusiastically wanting to share their knowledge and positivity. What's not to love about that? I drive a lot for work, and I look forward to their new podcast each week. Don't judge the first few episodes. The audio is awful, but they dialed it in and got it right.
Thank you.
We are embarrassed by those first few episodes. Please know that.
But you know what? I really appreciate, at first when this person you read this person's post to me and they said that, I thought, but I appreciate it because actually you're letting other people know that what to expect, that yes, the audio, there's a learning curve at the beginning. So I think it's the first 3 or 4 episodes. The audio's not great.
Yeah.
But it gets better after that.
Yeah.
And then from then on, it's good. So, but thanks for sharing that it does get better.
Yes, thank you. Really. I mean, I'd love to put that as a disclaimer on there. Actually, I might be able to. Don't judge us by this first, especially the first one. The first one's so bad. And that's the most listened to one. So I'm like, I hope we didn't lose listeners.
You should put a disclaimer on there, like, sorry, poor audio, but
don't judge us.
After
please.
About episode, I think it's the 4th. Yeah. After the 4th one, it gets good.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day that we can't even listen to those episodes because we're so embarrassed by them.
I cringe, man. I can't, I deal with this part of it. That's kind of my job and this thing. And so, but you know what? We didn't have the equipment that we have.
No,
so
we didn't. You got to learn. Like you said, there's a learning curve and you got to start somewhere. And we did. And
I started with poop and realized that didn't work. And then, okay, what do I need to do to make it better? So I did. And here we are.
Good job, babe. You did a great job.
thing.
Okay. And then I wanted to talk about briefly, we were just discussing this. I thought it would be a good topic for our listeners, that the Pentagon has now admitted that there are UFOs.
Yay!
That we know that there are UFOs.
Well, you know what they say? Admitting it is half the battle.
It is.
So we've got there.
Yes.
And Chelsea just now informed us that they're on their way. The UFOs are on their way. So
yeah, we had just talked about this, and then we sat down to record, and I look at my phone, and Chelsea sends me 3 pictures of UFOs and says they're on their way. I'm like, well, okay. Because there's a lot of people
Here's something that if we can just take 2 minutes of this podcast to interject on that real fast.
Let's do it.
It's like, okay, how many other thousands of videos are out there of that are real? They're actually real.
They're
okay.
real.
I know there's a lot of skeptics and go, oh, CGI is an amazing thing. You can tell.
CGI wasn't an amazing thing back in the 70s and
No,
80s.
no.
And yeah.
But so anyways, my point is that there is a lot of skeptics and there is a lot of good CGI. All right. But there is a lot of real videos. The Pentagon is only releasing this because the footage came from an Air Force plane.
Right.
Somehow this leaks. So now how does the Pentagon debunk that one?
Right.
When this is their own footage, their own pilots.
Yeah.
So it's about time to admit it. And I think if we do globally accept it and kind of welcome them, we're going to benefit from it so much. But if we get angry and defensive and let our fear take over, and then act defensive, we're done.
This is This is a time where we really all need to be coming together and stop all these stupid protests and realizing that it's not just about you. Right. It's about this whole planet.
Yeah, they're here to help us, not take over. They're not here to commandeer our planet and take over. That's not, they're actually protecting us from others and from ourselves.
Right. But the way our society reacts, like how they've reacted with these riots and stuff, this is how, if they're going to react like that, if we start seeing more alien activity now that, because it's like you start admitting something and then people start to go, oh, yeah. Well,
like we can't have another episode of what was it in LA in the 50s when they thought they spotted the name of that. The UFOs and they're all firing up in the air. We can't do that.
No. No. If it gets to the point where they actually show us themselves, they're not going to hurt us. But if we start hurting them, that's a whole other thing, you know? I don't know. This is crazy. This world's gone crazy. And I said to you when we were talking about this earlier that if this is the next step in this, if it's aliens appearing, I'm ready. Well, and I wouldn't be surprised anymore.
No, I'm not. And I already believe it. Yeah. So I won't be surprised. No. I've seen them. I'm not a being, but I've seen craft. So, yeah, that's not the issue. I'm more worried about our reaction.
Exactly.
But I really believe that, the military's known for a long time. We've been learning from their technology for a very long time. Right. And we will continue to. Actually, this will help us so much if we don't come out like a bunch of bullies on the schoolyard.
Right. And that's why they haven't told us up until now, is because we're so reactionary that they're afraid of what are these humans going to do when they find out that there's other beings, you know, and we don't know what they will do and who they are. And
hey, we're worried about this climate and this planet, and we're trying to find a way to get off. Well, I'll tell you what, they can share it with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we got to be cool. We have to be nice.
Yes.
Because if we think we're going to go out and get off this planet and start jumping to other worlds, not being nice.
Yeah.
You know, we're in for a whole lot of heartache.
No, this is not Christopher Columbus. You can't just go
take
Star
over. Trek and Star Wars. You know, you don't start jumping from rock to rock with lasers, you know, fire my laser.
No.
All right, enough of that. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's go on to the episode. All right. So, episode 55. Okay,
Readings by Samantha.
Okay, let's start with a spirit reading. This is from Shannon. Shannon said, "This is Chad, my husband Corey's best friend who passed. It would make our day to hear any messages he has for him. Please and thank you." Okay, let's talk to Chad. My first spirit reading of the day.
Yeah.
Chad comes off to me as a very down to earth, what's the word I'm looking for? Like hometown kind of guy. Like he
Down home.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. Why is it that the words just don't come out sometimes? It's like
They did, kind of.
There, you got it. It came out backwards. That's it. That's what he is. He liked to play jokes. I'm feeling like he was a big joker. Liked to see people smile. Never, tried to do anything to make anybody frown. Let's see, as far as messages for you and your husband. So he tells me that he is around you guys, and he brought up mentioning about the jokes and being a jokester because that is something that he likes to do with you guys. Is he will, I don't know if it's necessarily move things. Like they don't move things to different areas of the house, but they can do things to make you like, where did this go, or what, and then they kind of make you, argue with each other like, well, where'd you put this? That's what I feel like he's doing with them.
Yeah.
Is like he's playing these little tricks on them, and then when they find what it is they're looking for or whatever, he's like, ah, and then they laugh, and I don't think they realize that it's him though.
Right.
If you don't, it is. It's funny.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall, like when they're doing what they're doing.
To like be able to see them.
Not see them, but see whatever it is that's changing.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if the dogs are like, that thing just like disappeared and then reappeared.
Our dogs look at stuff all the time.
Slid across the table.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know how they do the things that they do. It amazes me. And it's really all energy. Like if you think about it, the things that these spirits can do are energy related, and movement and especially lights. It's very, very easy for them to interfere with lighting. Yeah, and anything electrical. So that's a big sign, definitely, if you're seeing electrical things too from him. I could see him doing weird things like that as well.
Yeah.
But he says, I think this is a message in particular for Corey. He says, just keep going. So whatever Corey's working on, just keep going, that it's going to work out for him. I'm not sure what it is. He's not being specific. So maybe you can let us know what he's talking about. But he does say, just keep going. You're doing good. It's going to work out the way you want it to. Just keep going.
Cool.
Yeah.
There must be something to that.
There must be, because when they repeat over and over, I know that it's very important for me to say that. Right, because
my first thought would have been like, oh, the COVID thing, but it sounded like he was intent on putting emphasis on something.
No, I think this is more career related is what I'm feeling. Maybe something to do with starting a business, or, I don't know, something along those lines, that there's something that he's been wanting to do for a while, and his friend is telling him, just do it. Just you're on the right path. Just go.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That was a good one. Okay, this is from Jolene. Jolene, I talk about her often. She is my friend that lives in Italy.
Yeah.
She hasn't given me an update, though, lately. I have to get one from her on what's going on over there. But this is for her. She said, this is my grandma, Florence. She died months before I got pregnant with Kaya. That's her oldest girl. But told everyone I was going to have a curly-haired little girl. Does she watch over all her new great-grandchildren? We all miss her very much. All right, let's talk to Florence. So Florence is telling me that throughout her whole life, things like that happened, that she would just spit things out, like what she did. You're going to have a curly-haired little girl, but didn't know where they were coming from.
Yes.
She didn't say she was psychic. She didn't consider herself psychic or any of it. I'm not even feeling like she believed any of that, like the psychic world. But I do feel that she had those moments.
Well, I think they do that. They speak through us, and you might be compelled by a feeling or a thought that you just need to say.
Yeah. You all of a sudden might just see this flash of something in the future, And I kind of feel like with this, that's what happened, that she saw your little girl, just this vision of her, and said, you're going to have a curly-haired little girl. She is absolutely very much around everybody. I feel like she was very, very family oriented. So we all have like spirit guides, and sometimes our family, I tend to notice that a lot of our family ends up being like our spirit guides and taking somebody and being with them. And I do feel like, not Kaya, but your other little girl, I can't remember her name, the little one. I feel like your grandmother is her guardian, that she watches over her. And she's telling me that you'll start to notice as she grows up, you may even notice it already, that there's little things that she will do. Man, I wish I could remember her. Oh, Harper, I believe is her.
That's
her,
a cute name.
Yeah, is her little girl's name. If I'm wrong, sorry, but I'm pretty sure that that's what it is, Harper. So anyway, so she is with Harper, and you'll start to notice little things coming out in her that remind you of Florence. The like little things that she does, you'll be like, wait a minute, you never met my grandma. How do you know the things that she does?
Right.
Well, that's because she's showing you through her that she's with her, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's weird. I hear my mom come out of my mouth all the time, and it trips me out.
Right.
It's just things that happen. They're able to do these things, like to show us that they're with us, that they give us those little, like personality traits of theirs every once in a while. Right. So yeah. So to answer your question, if she's around, she is. She's around all of you, but she definitely watches out for Harper the most. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, she's.
She would happen to be in Florence, Italy.
No, this was the reason. I don't
just
think
be ironic.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
That her grandmother was named that if she was there, but
I'm not sure where in Italy she is. Actually, I know that it's something Air Force related. That's all I know.
Oh,
so yeah. So, anyways, Jolene, Grandma says she loves you, and your children are beautiful and amazing, like she knew they would be.
Cool.
Okay, the next one. Let's do an animal reading. This is for Chelsea Tate Mandler. She sent 2 kitties, but there's one in particular that I want to talk to.
Cool.
For this. And that's Night. He's a black kitty. This cat it's funny because this cat's showing me like being kind of all up in your business. I feel like there was something that happened with this cat that made it clingy, that made it not be able to, like when you leave, this cat doesn't like it when you leave. Like, maybe the cat went missing, or maybe it was at an abusive home before it came to you, or something like that. But this cat has some, I don't want to call it emotional trauma. That's not what it is. I just feel like now, because of whatever has happened, that this cat is very clingy and just wants to make sure that it's going to be taken care of, and that, its people are around. Like separation anxiety, which is funny because you don't see that in cats very often.
Yeah.
Yeah, very rare. But this is a very sweet cat, loves you very much. The only question I think that she gave was, how are they enjoying their lives? Both of these cats seem very happy to me. I am being pulled in on Charlie. I'm being pulled into his mouth for some reason. I don't know if he has dental issues or if this is something that's just starting, but just keep an eye on that if you don't already know about it. But I am being pulled into the teeth area with him. Let's see what else with Charlie. Charlie is intense. He's a thinker. And I notice this with cats a lot more than dogs, that they sit around, they don't meditate like dogs do. Dogs can go into a trance, where cats more sit there and they think. A lot of cats do that. And this cat in particular will sit there and like wait for things. Like, when is this going to happen? When am I going to see this go by? Or like, when they look out the window and they're waiting for something. Very focused, very, very intent on what's going on. Let's see what else he wants to say. I see him rubbing on your leg, like in and out. That tells me that he does that behavior, but also that he's claiming you as his property. He's the one that I could see being like, I don't want to say the least needy, but it's on his terms more than like the black cat is. Like, the black cat wants to be around you. With this one, it's more on this one's terms. So both very sweet cats. They both love their lives very much. You take wonderful care of them, and they feel like members of the family. So
cool.
Yeah. And the black one, whatever this trauma is that I'm picking up, we'll talk about it because I told her that we would talk after this. Whatever this is, please know that I'm not saying that Cat's traumatized, because he's not. Animals are like kids. And if you think about like your memories when you were a kid, you don't have vivid memories of certain things. Like you can vaguely remember. That's what it is with him. He just vaguely remembers whatever this trauma is, but he doesn't realize that his separation anxiety is related to the trauma.
Yeah.
I don't even think humans a lot of times realize that things that they do are related to the trauma that they had. Right. So this cat, the being clingy, he doesn't really look at it as from his trauma. That makes sense.
Interesting.
Hey. Okay. That was a good one. Let's see. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're good.
Oh, yeah. You got plenty of
I got
time.
plenty because we're only 3 and I have 10 on my list. Is this entertaining? I hope so.
I like to listen, yeah.
Yeah.
I find it.
I
know I'm not doing much, but...
No, you're fine. I just, hate to bore you or people that are listening to other people's readings. That's something that I think about,
Right. I mean, obviously, the neat part is to hear people give you feedback later, but it is neat to hear you just pull this stuff, It's
interesting for myself, even. Like, the longer that I do this, the more confident I get. But I still hear that voice in my head. Like, I hear 2 voices. I hear the voice that's telling me what to say, and I hear my own voice telling me that I'm stupid and I'm wrong. And I know when I hear my own voice saying that I'm right.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
It's really backwards. I hope that one day my voice will stop doing that. Right. But I do realize that helps me to know that I'm on the right track.
Right.
So,
well, maybe you can, before we wrap up, you can do a short one or something for me, for somebody, that I have over there, and just because I can give you kind of immediate feedback right here,
right, yes,
right now. But
we can do that
if we have time.
Yeah,
go for it.
We can do that. Okay, let's talk to. This is Frank and Rose. This is for Patricia. Patricia says, "These are my godparents, Uncle Frank and Aunt Rose. Both are deceased. Best gift my parents ever gave me. I was not told when they died, so I'm curious how he died. I'm thinking she died from old age." I picked this one. I love Patricia. We talk a lot. She's a very sweet person, but I picked it because I wasn't told when my grandfather died. And I understand that feeling of not knowing and wondering.
Sucks.
Yeah. I knew that my grandfather died from Alzheimer's, so I wasn't really worried about that, but I know that kind of you don't get to mourn them in a certain way because you find out later. For me, it was only a month later, so I'm hoping for you it wasn't years and years later, because that really makes it worse when you wonder all that time, what's going on. So let's focus on Frank, since I do feel like you're right. I think that she passed after him and it was from old age. Let's see. First, let me give you some things to confirm that it's him I'm talking to. I can see why you think your parents, as them being a gift. I feel like these two were very stable. Especially with him, his main goal in his life was to take care of his family, and to do it in a way that represented his family in, I don't want to say classy way, but what's the word I'm looking for? I'm losing the word again. He liked for people to see that he was good, that he did good things, that he made good choices, and he did. He was very much
proper.
Yeah, like that, classy, but they're a different word for it. I don't know. I'm not fine. See, this is what happens. I lose my words. He looked at you more as a daughter than as a godparent. You were very much a part of his family. Both of them, obviously, but I am focusing on him. He gave something to you. This is so weird. Here we go again with the coincidences. This is why I'm attracted to certain people too. This man taught you that not all men are bad. He made you feel like there were good men in this world that cared about their families and took great care of their families. And that's what my grandfather did for me, the one that I wasn't told is passed. These are the things that happen to me, is that I start to see my own story unraveling, and it makes me know that their story is similar. Yeah. And then theirs plays out. Mm-hmm. So I do feel like that's very similar, that Frank was very much a good role model for you. Unfortunately, I feel like other men weren't so much, but he did what he could. He did what he could to show you that it is possible to have a stable family, to be with someone for long term, and to take good care of your kids and the people around you. As far as how he passed, I am feeling cancer, and I am drawn to his lungs. I'm not sure if he was a smoker. That was primary location. And I'm not feeling like it spread or anything. I'm feeling like it was just lung cancer. But he was pretty old too. So, he had a good lung life. His life wasn't cut short by it. And I don't feel like it was a big drawn out thing. I feel like it was pretty much close to end stage when he found out about it. So there wasn't this giant long battle with cancer, right, which was obviously very good for him, but also for his wife that survived him. Mm-hmm. So I hope that answers your question, Patricia. He's a very sweet guy. They both are very sweet. Very, very sweet.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do another animal. I felt really drawn to this lady. She joined my reading group, last week, I believe. Her name is Heidi, and she just lost her cat. She said, "I need help, please. Yesterday, I lost my best feline friend of over 14 years. I'm devastated, and in addition to dealing with the gaping, painful hole in my life and in my home, consumed with worry and guilt that I did something or didn't do something that caused rapid progression of the kidney disease that caused her death. It is my fault. Is it my fault? Did I do harm? Was it truly her time to go, or did I cause it due to my ignorance? If someone could please ask her, does she forgive me? Does she have a message for me? Her name is Lila." I picked this one because I know a lot of people feel this way. A lot of guilt. Yeah. There's a lot of guilt when people put their animals down or when they don't see that there's an illness. It's normal to feel that way. I can't tell you not to, because it is a part of grief. It is a part of the whole process. You're going to go through all of those stages. Mm-hmm. Do you have a reason to feel guilty? No, you don't. Kidney disease in cats is very, very, very common. Yeah. The oldest I think I've seen a cat live, maybe, it's like 20. Maybe I've seen older, but doubtful. 14 is
a pretty long life.
Yeah, it's a good average age for a cat. I would say, like, losing a cat under 10, that's probably losing them young. Between 10 and 15 is probably average. And if you get a cat to live longer than that, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Oh, I hear people that have Labradors that have lived like 15, 16 years and like, tell me your secrets, because the longest I've had one live is Sequoia was 11. Yeah. So, these animals that live to be that age, know that it's just a natural progression. It's like us. Their bodies, like us, are dying every day. Like, you get to a point where you're not getting younger. You aren't getting younger anyways, but you know what I mean, where you stop growing and then your body starts decaying. You start getting older. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened with this cat. And I don't think that the kidney disease was like where you should have noticed it. I feel like there were a lot of things that the cat did to kind of cover up, and that unless you really know about kidney disease, these are things you wouldn't pick up on. And you know what? I'll tell our listeners so they know, because a lot of people don't know that some of the first signs of kidney disease is that your cat will start drinking more. You'll also notice that when they urinate, there's huge clumps of litter. Huge. Like, they don't just do little small pees anymore. Mm-hmm. It's like solid. That is a very good sign of kidney disease if you see that. They also will start to lose weight. There's a particular look that their coat gets. There's just different things with kidney disease that, unless you know that those are what you're looking for, they're hard to notice. A lot of people don't sit and pay attention to how much water their cat's drinking, but
people aren't around.
especially if you have multiple cats and you don't know which one's drinking the most, But this is something that happens a lot. I'm not sure if it's something in our water or what it is, but yes, kidney disease is prevalent. So you didn't do anything wrong. Please know that. It's just something that happens.
Yeah.
And Lila did live a very long life, and she lived a very long, happy life. And let's see what messages I can get from her for you.
I like that name, Lila.
I do too. She says it's very important for you to know that she did not suffer, that she was not in pain, that this kidney disease, it made her feel thirsty and that kind of thing, but it wasn't painful. She wasn't having issues like getting around or things like that. So she wants you to know that particularly, I'm assuming you're struggling very hard with, was she in pain? And no, she wasn't. I mean, was it pain-free? Probably not 100%, but as far as what she's telling me, it wasn't an issue for her. The pain and the dehydration wasn't severe with her. I feel like she did drink a lot of water, but it wasn't something that made her miserable by any means. She did not suffer. Very important that you know that in those last however long, many months or years that it took for her, the kidney disease to kick in, she did not suffer. Very important.
Good.
Yeah. See, these are why we do these readings, because it's important for people to know. And this is why I give you things so that you know I'm connected to your animal or your loved one, or if I'm doing a reading for you, it's why I give you things that can validate them, things that I couldn't possibly know. Because if I were just to sit here and tell you, yeah, your cat loves you and, says not to feel guilty, well, I'm not giving you any proof that I'm actually connected to your cat. Giving you specifics of things that they do,
right.
That's what tells you, okay, this person is connected to my animal. And then in that way, you can kind of heal from the messages because you know that the messages I'm delivering to you are in fact true.
Yep. Confirmation.
So I'm very sorry for your loss, Heidi. I am. She was a beautiful cat. Please know you did nothing wrong, and she absolutely will reincarnate to you at some point. Grief is horrible, but it does get better. Please know that this isn't going to last forever.
I had one that about 14 years, and she got something neurological. She would walk only to the left, I think, like in a circle.
Yeah.
And that it almost immediately, it wasn't something that I noticed little bits happening. It just boom, all of a sudden.
FIP or feline leukemia. Does that sound familiar?
I don't know, but it was just immediately one day.
Yeah.
She was doing it, and I think that was the day we put her down. So it was just like, whoa, what's this? But she was 14, and you could see something strange, like dilation or something in the eyes. Maybe like one eye was more
interesting.
I could be making that part up, but something about the eyes I thought were different. So it was hard, but you know what? She was like the best cat I ever had, and I loved her, and she was around for so long.
Yeah.
And you know what? I brought her home, and then I was with her when she left the world. You know? So it doesn't make it easy, but
no, it's not easy. Losing an animal, losing a person, it's never easy. And making that decision to have to release that animal from the suffering or whatever is a very selfless act. You're helping that animal. And I know sometimes people, think, well, maybe I could have had a couple more days or a couple of more weeks. Well, your animal doesn't look at it like that.
No.
Because they're not looking at it as the end, because they know it's not the end.
They know.
It's just a transformation to the other side where they will wait to come back, or they will wait for you.
Yeah.
Whatever happens. It's just, we don't, for the most part, people don't know that. They're not taught these things, obviously, and you can't see them. So
you think, oh my God, the end's the end,
and
that's it, and we'll never see each other again, and it's the biggest misconception.
Yeah,
it's so nerve-wracking.
Well, and and the thing is too that even if you know that you're going to see each other again, it doesn't take the pain away. I mean, I can still cry about my mom. I can bawl for hours. but I do know that I will,
Right.
but it doesn't stop the mourning part of it, but it does help. It helps you to
For
know
sure.
that,
It's like a little blanket, like your little
like a comfy sweatshirt.
Yeah. It's like your safety blanket, and you realize kind of through that process, through that mourning of wow. But the good news is we will see each other.
Yeah.
We will actually be around each other.
Right.
It's not how you envision. No, you're not going to have an arm that can extend and put an arm around that person.
Right.
But you will feel their love. You will feel their energy. You will feel their presence, and they will feel yours, and you will see each other.
Something that's really hard for us to grasp as humans is that everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes things happen. Actually, I shouldn't even say sometimes. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen for us to learn from, and things happen in the way that they're supposed to. So when we lose an animal or we lose a person, as much as it sucks, it's the way it was supposed to be. It's the way the story was supposed to play out. And there is always a reason, whether it's because that animal came into our life at a certain time when we needed them and then left when they weren't needed anymore, or they were sent here to teach us compassion, or whatever it is. There is always a reason. It's really hard when you're in grief to notice that and to accept that. But when you look back at it, it's, you'll notice it. You really will. Like with Sierra, I talk about Sierra, how she died from hemangiosarcoma. And that was one of the most traumatizing things of my life. But now I'm able to help people that have gone through that or are going through that with their animals, to understand that, there are others that know what they're going through and can help them and relate to them. And that's important.
Yeah.
Because when it happened to me, I didn't even know what hemangiosarcoma was. And, so things always happen for a reason. Just remember that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yes. Okay, let's see who's next. Let's see. This is a missing kitty. I work on a lot of missing pet cases. They're very emotional to me because they're very hard to do. Like, typically with a lost animal, I first will tune into the animal and find out if they're living or passed. And then we take the reading from there. If they're living, then I can see, okay, what do you see? What's around you? And then I can go to a map and try and narrow it down. But I will tell you that it is close to impossible to pinpoint an exact location of an animal when you're thousands of miles away from that animal. Maybe it would be easier for me to do in person. I don't know. But it's very frustrating. So I don't typically get to that point. But we do get a lot of good information, and there can be closure a lot of times. And I do have a good track record with people finding their animals in areas where I tell them that the animal is at. It's just so hard to be like, oh, right here on the map. This is it right here.
But you get pretty darn close. So
yeah,
people should be thankful about that.
Yes.
That's pretty incredible.
I have a good, of the animals that are alive, getting them home is, yes, I have a very good track record with getting them home. It's just finding what it is that I'm seeing. That's all. Like one of the last ones I did, I told you I saw this round circle with a tree in the middle, like right in the middle. And so I went on Google Earth and I saw the round driveway, but there was no tree in the center. And so I told her, well, here's a round driveway. But then I kept looking and I found the circle. It didn't look like a driveway, but it had a tree right in the center. So I don't know if that's where the dog ended up being. I know that they found the dog. But they get so excited once they find their animals that they forget about me and forget about giving an update.
Yeah.
And I get that. So they tell me, we're home. Thank you. I'll give you an update later. And then crickets. So anyways. So let's talk to Sugar Plum. She's missing. Will I ever see her again? All right. Well, first, this is like the most nerve-wracking part of these readings too, is having to dead or alive, because you never want to tell somebody that their animal is dead. That's for sure. But I do feel with Sugar Plum like she's alive. I do.
Cool.
Let's see. Okay, so what I see is her outside. I see buildings. So this isn't a rural area. This is more of a city area. And I see her looking up and seeing, this looks, I don't know where you live, but this looks a lot like buildings you'd see in San Francisco or in New York. Like when you look up and they're really tall. Mm-hmm. That's what she's showing me, is that she's around these kind of buildings. She's showing me people seeing her, not recognizing that she's lost, just thinking that she is, an indoor, outdoor cat or a stray cat. Get this a lot. And cats are really, really hard to catch.
Yeah,
that's why it's hard when they go missing, because a lot of them will like wander off and be really hard to catch. And so they just live out there and they learn to survive out there. I don't feel like this is necessarily close to you. Cats can travel pretty far. 10 to 15 miles is really, it's what I'm seeing.
Wow.
That's nothing, actually.
No, I mean, for a little animal, but yeah.
Yeah. No, there was one lady I did a reading for whose cat showed up a 30-minute drive from her house. Yeah. So this cat is closer than that, I feel. But, I don't want to discourage you and say you're never going to see your cat again. I definitely don't. But this is a hard find. What I would do is, if there's a big city like what I'm talking about, if you know where I'm talking about, I would plaster signs and talk to the vets around there. I know right now people are mostly inside, but people are seeing your cat. They just don't know that the cat's lost. Yeah. So that's the big problem here, is that just somebody's got to get a hold of your cat.
Yeah.
But that would be my big suggestion. I really, really do hope that you get your kitty back. I just am not sure at this point, but I will tell you that she is alive and well and she's doing okay. Cool. And there are, in this area, I feel like there's a lot of other cats around. So there's a lot of cat food. So she's not hungry by any means.
Well, that's good.
Feeling. Yeah. So hope that helps, Teresa. Please give me an update if your kitty comes home.
Cool.
Let's see. All right. This is Sherry. This is a horse. I love horses. I love to talk to them. I'm not like, I don't have a lot of experience with them in person, but they fascinate me because their minds are so complex.
Yeah.
And these horses go through a lot and we don't even realize it, that most horses that I've talked to have had multiple homes. Not 1, 2, 3, dozens of homes.
Wow.
And it breaks my heart because that takes the pet out of them for the most part, because they know they're constantly moving.
Yeah.
They get used to it. It just becomes a part of their life. They become, that horse. But then what happens is somebody will get a horse like that and will want it to be their best friend. And this horse is like, but wait, I've been best friends, and then I have to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk to Buck. Just wondering if you can get anything from Buck. I don't know what is right to do with him at the moment. Sorry. It's not the Rona. So maybe what the tangent I just went off on is because that fits for you. Buck is a confused horse. I'm going to say this is one of those horses that's been moved around or just doesn't know its role in this world. Like, I feel like sometimes Buck wants to be a horse and sometimes he doesn't know how to be a horse. I don't know I'm sure that's going to make sense to her, but doesn't make much sense to me. I feel like he's very, very stubborn. In this picture, which I'm having a hard time blowing up, he's wearing some kind of jacket or something with penguins on it. It's really cute. He likes that. It gives him comfort. I'm not sure if you do that because it's cold or what your reasoning to it is, but I do feel like this horse finds comfort in that. It's cool. Like, the thunder jackets. It's like that. Like, it gives him this sense of peace. I feel like he has a a lot of like little stresses, like thunder, lightning, things, loud noises like that, will set him off. I see him kind of running and darting. So my feeling with this horse, because you asked the right thing to do with him at the moment, I feel like he's confused and misunderstood. And I feel like if you can give him that understanding and just understand that he's a different horse, he's a different kind of horse, that he's not going to be like what you might have envisioned him to be, and cut him some slack is what I'm feeling, on the things that he does wrong, and understand that it's not his fault. I feel like that will help the relationship. If you're considering moving him, these horses that are moved, every time they're moved, they like I said, they get used to it, but they do have additional trauma. This horse, I feel like, would be way more happy just staying with you. He likes you. He's comfortable with you. I feel like he's really more comfortable right now than he's been in a lot of times in his life, even if that's not what he's showing. So for me, what I would say with him is just to have some patience and understanding. Keep doing what you're doing. Love him. Just understand that the things that he does is not because he wants to. It's because this is the horse that he is. If that makes sense. It's his story has made him who he is. And so he has little things that are just, they're quirks. They're going to stick with him. And then there's certain animals that are just, have certain quirks. Mm-hmm. Like our Great Dane he's nervous about a lot of things.
They're a soul, so they're unique. I mean, one person gets scared by thunder, another doesn't.
Exactly. So I hope that helped Sherry with that. All right, what do we got? Good. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I want to do a couple of psychic readings, people readings.
Do it.
Okay. So this is Sarah. Sarah says, thanks for this opportunity. My question is, can you tell me if I will meet my soulmate anytime soon, please and thank you? I'm going to tell this to not just Sarah, but to everybody that if you haven't found your soulmate yet, first of all, we have more than one soulmate. Yeah. But like if you're talking relationship, which is what I'm assuming she's talking about, your next soulmate relationship, I'll tell you this, that those things come to you when you are not looking for them. I feel like when you stop focusing on when, if, how, and just say it's going to happen. And right now I'm just going to live for now, which is very hard. We all have a hard time living in the now, but it will come to you quicker. The universe has this way of when we act like that, and I'm not saying you're acting a certain way. I'm just saying that this is what we do as humans. Mm-hmm. We need it now. We don't want to wait for it. I read for a lot of people that when I tell them their soulmate is a year, 2 years, 3 years out, they get upset with me. Mm-hmm. Like, speed it up. I can't speed it up. Right. This is your story. Your story's going to unravel the way that it has to. Your story needs to line up with your soulmate's story. For example, when I started my divorce, you were still married. You went through your divorce, and after you were divorced, we reconnected. Mm-hmm. We were divorced at the same time. But if I would have been insistent on, like, I need to be with somebody right now, I may not have had that opportunity because your story wasn't there yet. Right. So I hope that
it comes to you when you need it, not when you want it.
That's right.
And even though you might personally think, I know what I need.
Yeah.
Because this is my life. When you finally surrender to the fact that you're not in control of every little thing that's happening in your lifespan, other than your own free will, when you surrender to that, you understand it better. Right.
Absolutely. It's a hard thing for us because we want to have control.
Yeah.
And we want everything now. And we forget that there's a lot of years ahead of us. Mm-hmm. And, I think a lot of people are afraid to die. They're afraid that I'm not going to get time to do these things. Mm-hmm. But that's not how most of our stories play out. No. And I can tell you that this is not how this story is going to play out for you, Sarah. You have time. And what I feel right now for you is that in order for you to get what you want, in order for you to meet the soulmate, the person that is supposed to be coming to you, you have to learn to accept a few different things. One of those is that when you meet this person, you need to be authentically yourself. A lot of people, they want to be who they think that the other person needs. Mm-hmm. You need to be yourself because that's what attracts somebody to you. If you're pretending to be something else, that pretending is going to wear off. And then they're going to learn the real you. And if that doesn't work in a relationship, then what happens? Then you're stuck in a relationship with someone that you didn't know. So you need to make sure that when you go into this next relationship, that you are uniquely you, is what I'm hearing. Just be you. Don't be afraid that you're not going to be able to attract the person that is right for you. We have a good friend, Joe. I've been very worried that Joe wouldn't find the right girl for him because he's shy. He's a different kind of guy.
Right.
He found the perfect girl for him.
Yeah, he did.
But he waited. He searched and he waited and he found the perfect girl for him. And that's what happens when you wait and you just let things happen naturally and know that it is going to come to you. It will.
Yeah.
It will. Promise. So that's the message I'm getting for you is the sooner that you can just let it go and understand that your story will play out the way it needs to play out, this will start coming to you and that your soulmate will find you and it will be happily ever after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, good things.
Yeah,
good
for
things
sure.
coming.
That was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. This is another personal reading. This is Angela. I met her at a medium circle. Her husband passed away in a drunk driving accident. He was hit and killed by a drunk driver. I can't even imagine, what that's like. And
which one was she at?
She was at the one at the yoga studio in Santa Clarita.
I'm vaguely remembering now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here.
yeah. She still kind of goes on. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, she does.
She was trying to do things that they used to like to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But doing by herself.
I think I gave her that advice. I think that was that was the advice that I gave her.
She did meet somebody else?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Never mind.
She does the drunk driving stuff.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the anti-drunk driving. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So she just says, would love a personal reading.
Nice.
Her life was flipped upside down. It was changed drastically because,
I can imagine.
Yeah, because her and her husband were going to move to, I believe it was to France. They were going to open a vineyard. And I, it's hard for me to say this, but he's right here and he's telling me, don't stop pursuing dreams that we had just because I'm not with you.
Yeah. Because
he is with you. I feel like you're resisting a lot is what he's telling me. And this turns into a spirit reading. Yeah, he's a strong spirit. Very strong. What he's telling me is you're resisting for a few reasons. First of all, because you think that you can't do these things without him. Maybe because you don't feel like it's right, that these were dreams that you guys had and you can't do them without him. He wouldn't like that. Well, He would like that. That's what they want us to do. They want us to continue our dreams. We obviously have to mourn. It's very difficult to lose somebody, especially suddenly.
Yeah.
But once we start coming out of that, they want us to go on with our lives. They want us to pursue our dreams. And if we had dreams with them, they want us to continue to pursue that. Now, he understands you may not want to get up and move to France by yourself, and that's okay. But you love wine. You guys loved wine, and you should continue that. Whether you do it here, like in wine country, or you do it in a different country.
Right.
He really is saying you can do this, but stop resisting. Stop saying I can't.
Right.
Is what he's saying, and that's hard. Again, it's not.
And I get this feeling like if she's out there doing those things, she's gonna cross the path of somebody.
Oh yeah,
else.
Absolutely, and that's hard to accept though too, especially with
I don't even know if that means like a lover or
Yeah.
maybe somebody that might be interested in a partnership with what their plan may have been.
For sure.
But I get this feeling like she has to get out there
Yes.
in order to cross this person's path.
That's exactly right. What we were talking about the paths having to align and your stories having to sync up. This is kind of one of them. That if you continue to resist this story that is supposed to play out for you, it is being pushed back. And that is the way that we can have free will, and that we maybe sidetrack ourselves off of a path because we're too afraid, because not everybody accomplishes their dreams.
No.
Everybody can.
Yeah.
Everybody can accomplish their dreams. But if you quit, you can't.
Nope.
You have to keep going. And that's what I'm feeling from him, is that he needs you to keep going. He appreciates everything that you do as an advocate for drunk driving. And that was a horrible way to lose him. But it's time for you to start thinking about yourself more.
Yeah.
He's not, obviously, he's around you all the time. He can't be here physically, but he is here with you emotionally, and he will be there to guide you if you watch his signs along the way, and he will make his presence more known if you believe that he's there, and that will help you. That will really help you to pursue your goals if you can open up more and say, I feel you, I do, and stop trying to push it out. It really does help. He's there to help you. So just keep going.
Nice.
Is what I'm hearing from him. Okay.
Nice.
I got 5 minutes left.
Oh my God.
I'm tired. So I think I'm good with that, with those.
All right.
Yeah. That was a good day.
Good. Good job.
Yeah.
Very good.
I hope that those were all good for everybody and that I helped some people, because that's my goal. Like, I picked this topic this week because I thought right now is a great time to be able to give back to some people that maybe need a little bit of reassurance or something.
Yeah.
We all have a skill or something that we can provide to a community. This is my skill. So this was my way of giving back this week and saying thanks for listening to our show.
Cool.
And trying to help.
Well, that's a nice way.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. I can't do medium circles right now too. So this is a great way of kind of, I can't interact with the people, but it works.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So.
Right on.
Okay.
Well, before we say goodbye, did you want to share your information?
Yes, let's do that. You can find me on the web at SamanthaJonesPsychicMedium.com. Or if you're interested in the unlimited texting service that Chelsea and I have, you can email us at velvetpsychics@gmail.com. We can give you some more information on that.
Cool.
You can also find me on Kasamba too. If you really want to talk to me like right now, you can look me up on Kasamba. If you go into the search and just type in Sammy, because I'm the only Sammy, SAMI, I'll come up and then it'll show you if I'm online or not. You can talk to me right then.
Cool.
So there's lots of ways.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay.
Bravo.
And you, sir.
Oh, yes. If you like the art, for me is djonesartcollection.com, or for Facebook and Instagram at djonesartcollection. I'm working on a piece right now, so I should have that done. I'm not even going to say when I'm going to have it done. Few days. I don't know, but coming
Life's
up.
so unpredictable right now.
Yeah, and I was just getting ready to launch the store, and then all of a sudden the printer is closed because of the COVID situation. Not permanently, but
yeah. And then you can't even have things printed if they're closed. So
I know,
it's like,
so.
Yeah. Sucks.
So it's okay. I'm just still, making pieces. Just more to put up there. So.
Yep.
But that's for my art, and for the band, gypsybrown.com, and for Instagram, at Gypsy Brown Music, and for Facebook, at Gypsy Brown Band. Can't wait to play, but,
yeah, whenever.
Everything is, we're going to start rehearsing again probably within a week or so, and just take it as it comes, but probably venues and stuff not going to happen for a while, so I think it's probably a good time for us to start the recording process, which we were going to anyways, but I miss them. Can't wait to play. It's killing my soul.
Yeah.
Not having music. Ugh.
It's
listening
tough,
and playing I love music, period, but listening is different. I don't get the same thing.
Yeah, you need the guys and that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all kind of missing that right now, that with our friends or whoever you're close to, but hopefully it'll get better. Other states are opening. So maybe ours will see what happens and then follow suit. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, that's it for me.
that's it.
Well, we appreciate everybody listening in to this week's episode.
That we do.
And we hope you guys are staying healthy and safe and having a great upcoming week as well. And until next week, peace and love.